Hello, this is Kim Hallen with Unbridled, and welcome to episode 2 of the herd integration footage of Relicario into the Unbridled herd. So this is the first morning after Raley's first night, and you can see him over there on this side of the fence. They've all just finished breakfast, and you can see that everybody's really relaxed. They're just looking into the sun, and I'm going to go into the fence here, and then for the first time I am going to open the gate between, or the fence rails between Shoki and Marcus and Raley, and we're going to see how this goes. They have been over the fence together all night but have not been in together, so let me turn this off while I get the fence. Marcus just wants the hay. Let me put this board up. Okay. So Raley's just kind of standing, looking at everyone. Shoki's checking out Raley's bowl. What do you think, Raley? And Marcus is eating Raley's hay. So here we go. First conversations. So Raley's very respectful, and okay, so now Shoki's letting him know who's boss. It's okay, Raley. There. So he's a little Pacifino, so he's got a gate. So that was really good, actually. First, they're just making sure they know how to communicate with each other. Raley was very respectful. And he's going to go finish up the food. Quickly found the food that's over here. But he's a little skittish of people, so when I come toward him with some energy, that moved him off really easily. And he's never been in this part of the paddock, so he's checking things out. But what you want is what he did, which was as soon as Shoki said, "This is our space over here." So now he's seeing the horses across the way for the first time. They're way over there, but he's still getting to know his digs. Meanwhile, you can see that Shoki and Marcus, they're not in any way trying to bully him or scare him. That's not horses' way. We like to, we don't here, but a lot of people like to always talk about dominance and submission with horses, and the truth is that's not really what it's about. They just being very clear about personal space boundaries, and anytime a new horse is introduced to a herd, even in the wild, there's going to be an adjustment period. The new horse has to be oriented into the culture and customs of the herd. So that's what Shoki was doing there. He was telling, when he moved Raley off, he was just saying, "This is too close to quarters. You need to be further away." And Raley was like, "Happy to do that, sir." Matter of fact, he's heading back this way. But I would say, all in all, I'm very happy with that. The most important thing was that Raley would be able to give them the space they need and not just take care of himself in that situation, to know what's best to do. And because he's lived in herds, he's much more able to do that and make those decisions appropriately than Marcus was, who never had lived with a herd, which is why I think why Marcus got beat up a lot in the beginning, is he didn't know how to create space between him and the others in appropriate ways. So I'm gonna check out for now, and I'll give you more footage later. So now the girls are heading over to lick the bowls, but they're going to find Raley in here, so we're gonna see how this goes. And Shoki is coming up behind to make sure he can mitigate things. So let's see. Shoki wants to keep the girls away from him for now. But he's leaving. He's gimpy, but he is trying. Good boy. He's checking on Marcus now. So Shoki's wanting to make sure all his herd is okay. Raley seems happy to. He's like, I think I need to go now. That was a lot of pressure, but he did the right thing. Now he's a little stressed, so he's probably going to lay down and roll. Luckily, and this is what I was hoping, is the girls would be more interested in the food bowls, at least for right now, so they aren't right on top of him, but they'll probably be heading down there as soon as they finish licking the bowls. And we'll see if Shoki feels like he needs to come back. Raley is kind of like, I'm going to stay as far away as I can for right now because I'm not sure about all this dynamic. He's also looking over at the horses across the street. And Tempo. Okay, now he's getting curious. Like I said, I think he's going to roll. If he can relax enough to do that. Meanwhile, the girls are still both just cleaning the scraps out of the boys' bowls. They will lick those till there's not anything in them. So Raley looks like he's trying to calm himself with some grazing. There's not much to graze there, but he's doing all the right things just to give calming signals for himself and the other horses. He's not in any way acting like a threat or trying to... here we go. So now here comes Tempo. We'll see how this goes. Raley started heading away. Now notice that Tempo didn't make a beeline straight for him. He feels her energy is pretty intense, so now Puck's gonna join in, maybe. If both the mares go to him, yeah, it could be a lot of pressure. So we're gonna see how he handles this and whether I need to intervene. Okay, so kicking, but as long as he can stay out of the way. They're not trying to hurt him. They're just checking to see what his level of savvy is. So that was the interaction, and now they're back to the bowls again. Again, I want to really stress that this is not dominance behavior. This is them having conversations with each other about personal space. There's also hormones involved because of the mares and a new boy. He's kind of hiding behind the tree. But they're really just checking to see if they could have conversations about personal space for now. They won't really want to get to know each other a lot until they all know that they can communicate about personal space. And for now, that means Raley being able to, run away, make space, leave if he's uncomfortable. And he just showed that he was very capable of that and he knew how to do it appropriately. And so the situation was really quite diffused. And now Tempo's gone with the boys. They're going out to we'll see them come around here in a minute, probably. Yep, there's Marcus, Tempo and Shoki all together. Now Puck is left. She kind of got left behind. So she's like, wait a minute. And she's a little off in her left hind. She's got a bit of navicular and a few things going on. But so now Raley's like, I'm not really sure where to go. And Puck's like, my herd's over there. You know where to go, Puck. So I like to, as much as possible, let them problem solve here. So these guys are just staying on this side of the fence. Raley's staying far away for now, which is smart. And Puck, there you go. She just figured out. She's like, I'm gonna go. And Tempo wants to go meet her. Oh, he didn't go out. So she'll try to go around and join them, or else they'll all come out. Shoki's. So right now the herd very much wants to stay together, except Marcus is like, I'm just going to stay here where I can see Raley. And now they're all coming back out here. Probably going to come back in. Nope. Going to go down the driveway. Stay out of my way. Thank you. Hey, Bart. So what I wanted to do, I opened up the whole property just so that everyone could, have lots of places to go and move and see each other, but not be on top of each other. So they're just here looking at what Raley's doing. And as long as Raley stays calm and doesn't instigate anything, things should calm down fairly quickly. These guys are really just waiting to see, can Raley know how to act appropriately? Does he know he's not really part of our herd yet? And he is doing a great job of just giving lots of calming signals. And Shoki's kind of trying to herd his girls and keep them he's trotting a little, they're trotting a little. And again, I just wanted to give everybody plenty of space to do what they need to do. I want them to be able to move their feet and not feel confined, not be online, not feel like they can't interact in the ways that they know how to do it best. He's got his back to them and not being, not pushing anyone's boundaries at all. He's being very, people like to use the word submissive, but I think he's just giving them calming signals. It's not so much submission, because they're not trying to bully him. They just want to know if he understands he's not quite yet part of the herd. They're a very tight-knit herd. And if he can behave appropriately and be respectful, look how they just calmed right down. They're all grazing. He was facing away when they all started grazing and got calmer. He faced his body position in the same direction that theirs are. The three here, or two of them anyway. Now Shoki's turning also. So that's his subtle way of saying, I'm in alignment with you. Even though the fence is between them and they just all made it very clear he's not part of the herd yet, he is giving them signals to say, I want to be part and I know how to do it politely. And now he's coming in to see Bart's over there in the bowl. So we're going to see how the conversation between him and Bart goes. And my horses are looking really intently at this because Bart is part of their herd. So he's figuring out that Bart's respectful, but I like that he is not bullying Bart. Again, bullying is not really a natural behavior for horses. They do sometimes learn behavior that seems like bullying in domestic settings, especially if they aren't free to have conversations the way that these are right now. So the girls, they're going to be coming back in now that they saw Bart and Raley interacting. You can see Bart being very respectful of Raley. So here come the girls again. They're like, you're by my bowl and by my... Okay. So see Raley, he's moving off. He doesn't try to argue with them or argue with what's happening. Now they're very hormonal too, so they're curious about him, but also having conversations about space. Shoki's getting a little distressed because the girls are in there with him and he can't do anything about it. He's not realizing he can go around. So he's watching very carefully what's happening. And now we've got a little bit calmer energy, but the girls are, they will probably spend most of today following him around. And Shoki's, again, would rather be inside, but isn't feeling like he can go all the way around right now. So he's just watching from out here. A little discussion. But you see that Raley knows how to not get caught in the corners. He knows how to leave. He's not... Go on in, Shok. Poor Shoki. So again, these are conversations about personal space and just making sure that Raley understands it. And the girls work as a team. They're a mother-daughter pair, so they often work as a team. And Shoki, like I said, he's distressed mainly because he's feeling a little out of control with the fence between them. He could go around, but he doesn't want to get far enough away to do that right now. Now what will happen as the girls get more in tune with all this is they will try to vie for his attention between the two of them. Bart's getting caught up in things over here. So I'm going to turn this off and just maybe help Shoki get where he needs to be so he's feeling a little more in control. So I came down here now to see if I could encourage the girls. I'm part of their herd, so to see if Shoki's like, come back. If he can just take them all back out to pasture. He's a little riled up. Oh, what's the matter? It's okay. So Raley's still way down there. He is there. Now Shoki's in with him. He's just wanting to, he wants to herd his girls. I wanted to see if the girls would settle enough to go back out to the pasture with Shoki. He would like them to, I think. The hormones are tricky. And it will be interesting to see if Raley can diffuse that enough that the girls, so Shoki's gonna go back down now. We'll see how this goes. Again, he's just checking, and Raley is really, keeping his distance, giving calming signals. He's trying to graze there. So he's not pacing, he's not acting out of sorts. And meanwhile, look, Marcus is taking it all in from over there. He's totally calm about it all, or just trying to stay out of it all. So you can see again, they all come in and they're not interested in bullying Raley. Now here comes female curiosity again, and Shoki may decide he needs to go down there and monitor that energy, but this is mostly hormones now, I think, that are driving the girls to keep going down, and they're going to start vying for his attention. Meanwhile, having conversations about space. So you can see that Raley's quite agile, and he has no trouble getting himself out of tight spots, which is really the most important thing with a herd interaction like this, is that he knows how. Oh, now that was a lot of energy at him, and he handled it really well. And that's really what I want to see at this point is he capable, when things get hairy, of taking care of himself? And can he get himself out of tight situations? Can he read the situation and what's happening? And he just did that really well. And as you saw, like, a lot of behavior that looks kind of threatening to us, but although Tempo kicks out, she's careful not to kick another horse unless she's really having to defend herself. So it's unlikely she's going to land kicks on Raley. And Shoki, the only reason he used to land kicks on Marcus when Marcus came was because Marcus would get caught in a corner and would just stay there, didn't know what to do. Raley knows the most important thing is to get myself out of this situation. And as long as he shows that he knows how to do that, and then he, goes and finds his own space, then that's going to diffuse these little situations. So I'm really, really pleased with how this is going so far, and Raley's ability to take care of himself. Now I'll monitor this. If it goes on and I feel like it's getting just too stressful for Raley, I'll just separate my horses from him for a while so he can just have some break or I'll put maybe him and Marcus together, because they were very calm together, and Marcus is not even getting wrapped up into all this herd dynamic. And honestly, I think that's more partly his nature. He's been on farms where there was a lot of stuff, and he was in his own paddock, and so he knows he's not really going to get drawn into it. And the other is that he also knows that my herd is much better at all of this than he is, and he just is fine staying out of it. So again, this is hormones. The girls are going to be vying for his attention. He's doing a good job of, staying out of it. The minute that either of them say move out, he goes, doesn't argue with that, and that helps diffuse the situation. So I'm going to check out for now. I'm sure we'll have more footage later.